Hello friends, I am Kanchan from Akulmach Technologies and you are welcome to our show Akulmach Nations. Today we have Sitesh Srivastava who has a deep interest in corporate training. He is also into consulting and is closely related to radio broadcasting. So welcome to the show Sitesh. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Kanchan. It's a great day on my side, and I'm sure it is a great day on your side as well. Good to talk to you always. How have you been?
Yeah, I'm fine. And today I'm a bit happy because I have heard that there's a new corridor, freight corridor, which is being inaugurated by PM today. And it is 306 kilometer western dedicated freight corridor from Rajasthan to Haryana. And you know, Sitesh, this is kind of a project. It is said that it will be game changer for India in 21st century. And it is also said that this freight corridor will bring new opportunities, new hopes for everybody, especially farmers and entrepreneurs and merchants of Rajasthan. So this is something which I wanted to share with my viewers. So have you gone through this news today?
Well, Kanchan, Indian Railways has been like millions, it has also been my lifeline. And I always look forward for having a train journey and which gives me a quality time with myself. That is the best part. And I remember the childhood days or growing up days, sitting in train for long number of hours and thinking what I wanted to think, doing, having fun, enjoying the landscape. Now I have kept in touch with Indian Railways over the years, though I have not been on a train journey for a long time. But I'm really happy about today's news about the PM, what he trying to help the rail freight system. And as I know last, that Indian Railways is the fourth largest railway in the world and probably the largest employer in the world. That also means that the railways carry a lot of freight around the country, secured, safe, and hassle free movement of freight or goods from one city to another city. And it's a great sight standing at a railway station or at a small village and seeing a freight train passing, which we used to call Mal Gadi, if you remember, Kanchan. And we used to make so many songs on that Malgadi. Well, the days of Malgadi has now become container. It sounds very professional and international, but Malgadi had its own charm. And seeing that from those days and till today, the changes that has been there in the Indian Railways freight system is very, very commendable. Now there are certain blocks in the country where the heavy, very heavy freight movement happens, because that also happens in the industrial belts, and those industrial belts are not spread across in India as they would have been. So, in certain sections of the Indian railways, which is divided into 9 rail zones, it becomes really clogged. And therefore, it is always important to give passage to the goods train or container trains as well as the passenger trains, and they both can coexist. So I believe the freight train section, which has been inaugurated by PM, will definitely help the load uh, downsized from the other sections, and that will also create a lot of not only the jobs, but it is also a showcase of the rail technology that we have. And that is where I think it makes a sense what has been inaugurated by our PM as something which is called WDFC, and it's like 1.5 kilometer long container train hauled by electric traction, and between these two stations, New Ateli and the new Kishangarh. So, how has been your experiences with the Mal Gadi or the goods train, Kanchan?
Yeah, actually, I happen to travel more in trains during my school and college days, and I enjoyed uh, train because there were some friends traveling together, and I have very good memories about these journeys. But when we are talking about these corridors, freight corridors, so I feel it's a very, very important aspect of nation building. And Sitesh, this is being done in a dedicated manner. So in the first phase, this dedicated freight corridor corporation, and it was set up in 2006, and currently they have around 1,000 plus employees. So along with this corporation, the Indian Railway has created this corridors, and is India is constructing the western and eastern dedicated freight corridors. The Eastern Freight Corridor will start from Sahnewal near Ludhiana. Punjab will pass through Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, and Uttar Pradesh. There was, I think, last month this corridor being inaugurated by PM. So it's already there, and then Bihar, Jharkhand, and will terminate at West Bengal. So the Western Corridor will connect Dadri, Uttar Pradesh to Jawaharlal Nehru Port, Mumbai, UP, Haryana, Rajasthan, Gujarat, and Maharashtra. So three more dedicated freight corridor are also in pipeline. So I think this is one step ahead and becoming a Atmanirbhar Bharat. And I think somebody who is into trade and into export import and of course supply chain will get enhanced with these corridors being established.
Of course, Kanchan, and I think this what in a popular parlance, I would like to tell children that this is like a double decker goods train with containers. The sight of it, the pictures that I have seen, they are very interesting. And what I'm told is that this particular corridor, the section that has been inaugurated, will help the industries in the Rewari, Manesar, Narnaul, Fulera, Kishangarh, Bhiwadi, Dharuhera, Ajmer, and Pushkar areas. And this also will, release the pressure on the Kanpur section of the Indian Railways, and that would also help uh, the industries, the farmers in those areas, small businesses, big businesses, all together. And I think this is also from I think it's also an engineering marvel to have a double decker train. I don't remember seeing a double decker goods train, though I have in India. Though I have seen a double decker train, passenger train between I think Surat and Mumbai in the local section. But this is an interesting from the goods train perspective. It will decongest the Indian railway network. It is energy efficient transportation. It will reduce the transportation cost, that is for sure. And it will also increase the carrying capacity. And I think that is important in terms of the economy to be, moving on in this year when we expect the economy to again come back on track. What do you say?
Yeah, I think it's quite a revolution in customer centric atmosphere because it also supports my one stop cargo solution for transportation of goods. Indian Railways has launched a freight business development portal to fulfill the needs of freight customers and strengthening the ease of doing business. So I think that's a great move, and that will also support customer and reduce the cost for logistic provider, provide online tracking facilities for suppliers, and also simplify the process of good transportation. So I think, and again, I want to add that portal has been designed to replace the physical process with an online way in order to minimize the human interaction. So I think we are on a right track, and we are moving towards uh, strengthening a strong India. And I think this will help a lot in nation building.
Yes, Kanchan, and as I always tell you, all the progress that is happening in the country, it has to be told in interesting stories to the people who don't really understand the nitty gritties and the technicalities of these subjects. And I think those stories are something that goes into our hearts and remains, and that way children also understand it very faster, and that also helps in the nation building because people understand it the way they understand. The railways has been part of our lives all the time from our childhood to till today. And now when we talk about it, I was just thinking, so many songs in Bollywood we have seen where the have been shot on goods train also, not only the passenger trains but also on the goods train, and including the famous scene in Sholay as well. And now I would think there another Sholay, whenever that would be made, it would be on this double stack goods train, and we will have those special effects like Hollywood, and we would see another young star running on those trains, and we may not need to go outside India to shoot on these trains. That this kind of a story building and narrative building uh, with our heavy industries, with the government approach, with the government controlled sectors is very important for them to take them to masses.
Yes, and I also want to update you that new Bahupur Khurja section will be the most advanced rail section in the country. And like these freight corridors, economic corridors, defense corridors, and tech clusters are being provided to the industry, and these individual industry and infrastructure is creating a positive image of India, reflecting the increase of foreign exchange. And all these plans are in pipeline. And I think that is a big boost to Indian economy. And I'm happy about it because at least I can see these kind of progress. And I think somehow we were missing these kind of plans and these kind of execution of corridors for the development.
Yes, Kanchan. And I think this, though it seems to be that this news of the inauguration of this sector, this news is not catching up the highlights the way it should have been. But I think it is important that beyond the Doordarshan news or the All India Radio news, we should be able to see and hear about this news, which is unfortunately not available in the other news channels of this country. And I think somewhere the government needs to promote these into a story format, into a good narrative. And I would like to talk to my children and their friends about this train, and would be good to give them a small project to find out what could be the Indian Railways new things that have been added into the Indian Railways. More or less, uh, I remember people saying that we don't have time for a long distance travel. And also at the same time, I know a couple of friends who still take train journeys, pre-pandemic times, between, let's say, Bangalore and Delhi, just to spend time, only the family time together and nothing else. So Indian Railways is intertwined in our lives in a great way, though it has lost its sheen in terms of the flight travel that people are doing. But I must say that I am the Indian Railway fan, and any progress happening on the Indian Railway is a happiness to me, I was part of Northeastern Railway region very closely. I have done some good schooling in a Northeastern Railway schools, and I am really proud of Indian Railways.
Yeah, and I just want to congratulate everybody and including you about this new development, corridor development, freight corridor development, and many more. Likewise, corridors will be introduced in near future. So it was lovely talking to you, Zadesh. We'll see you again in our next episode with some other interesting topic. Till then, bye bye. Take care.
Thank you, Kanchan. I would go back and see Dada Muni Ashok Kumar's movie Rail Chali, Nani Ki Rail Chali.
Oh, very good song. Yes, please enjoy this today evening. Bye bye.
Thank you.